Well, good afternoon, viewers, and welcome to the Bowls New South Wales Grade 2 Pennant Final, coming live to you from Club Merrylands. My name's Gavin Holborn. I've got Katie Astley here with me from Merrylands, but we're obviously live streaming for Bowls New South Wales. And we have Charlestown up against Kempsey Macleay RSL. Both sides have had very strong campaigns so far. And the jack is coming down for the first end on rink 1. And Dave Collins just setting up the jack there. Full length end here. So Charlestown has got the mat on the first end. They have put the jack on the tee with the mat back on the tee. So full length end first up. And it's a great weighted shot from Craig Poole with his first one. And it has swung a bit across there. So anyone who's been watching any Club Merrylands live streaming will know that the hand that these leads are both playing down here, the forehand on this hand, is usually a lot tighter than the other hand. But that bowl did swing a lot across the head there. Michael Howard coming down now. Once again, another good bowl. That's a great start from both leads. Michael Howard on the mat again now. You can't see he's bowled in the shot, but it is basically jack high, just not quite in that shot there. He's thrown it a bit wider this time, and he will be sailing a little bit but finishing just short of the ditch. So both these clubs obviously been playing the last couple of days. Charlestown has been here at Club Merrylands. And Kempsey Macleay RSL, they've been playing over at Guildford, which is a Merrylands club. It's all one club, they're not two separate ones. Only about 1.5 k's between each of the clubs. So they've been a little bit different here at Merrylands. We do have a synthetic green, as we see Raweang, I hope I get this pronunciation wrong, Namutwong, just past the head. So they've had to play a little bit on a synthetic green here at Merrylands. 2 grass greens over at Guildford. And this should be a cracking game. So we'll try and get a little bit of vision from the other rinks at different times during the day. So if you're out there supporting one of these two sides, Charlestown and Kempsey Macleay, we will try and flip across as things get exciting between the two rinks. But having seen these two sides play over the last couple of days, I'm expecting a cracker of a game. Been beautiful weather the last couple of days. We've had 20 plus degrees all 3 days. So as we see a lovely bowl coming down here now. So Kempsey Macleay holding shot there. Yes, cracking weather. We've had 20 plus degrees days. And for the first time in a while, we had no dew this morning. So this green will be running at its peak. Should be running a good 15 seconds. There was a bit of rain earlier in the week, which has slowed it down a little bit. And on this first end, it's Kempsey Macleay who has got the jump here on Charlestown. Holding at least a couple of shots, close for the third one. Live in the commentary position, we are jack high, and it does look like that back orange bowl may be the third shot, but this is Yet another good shot here from Kempsey Macleay. That was Richard Dixon playing second. Sorry, we're up to third, so I should have looked a bit further. It's not him. It is. It was Rocky Stone. Ian Rocky Stone, I think, was that last bowl from. Well, with the skips to come, it's Kempsey Macleay getting a little bit of a jump here. So both these sides played on this green this morning, and it was actually Kempsey Macleay who played on these three rinks. Obviously they're not playing on the same rinks that they played on. They have shuffled. Charlestown was over the other side of the green, to the right of your screen. But Kempsey Macleay have got a little bit of a jump here. Holding three at least. I believe from the live position it's 4 shots. And that will be a little bit of a settler. I'm sure there are some nerves out there. Playing the final. Charlestown is obviously one of the platinum clubs in Bowls, New South Wales, so this is not their highest grade, but it is the highest grade at Kempsey. Oh, look, that's a very fortuitous bowl there from Dave Collins. He's made second shot out of it. He had very good weight. As we see Greg Brims, he's coming out in this wider hand. And just past. So I had a bit of a chat to a couple of players out there before we started, and Greg Brims, he's won 2 Australian titles, mixed and the pairs, and he's won over 100 club or higher titles. Not bad. Between me and Greg, we've got over 100 titles between us, and they're all his. So we've got Dave Collins. He came down and had a little bit of a look. It's his last bowl. His last one he played on the same hand and was able to roll up his own bowl for second shot. So the hand he's playing here, the forehand, it is a little bit tight. So he should be just around his own bowl and probably even underneath it. May well be the best run, and he is underneath it. And he's just going to go through. Very good try there. Greg Brims will have the last say though. And he's in the area. He's just skirted through. I think he will count. And it is 2 shots to Kempsey Macleay RSL. It's a very good start from them. So our scores will be being updated by someone else on the green, and they'll be updated as it goes up on the board. So whilst we know it's already 2-0 here inside the commentary booth, it will be updated by people outside of our control, and hopefully they'll get it up as quickly as the players get it up on the board as well. So, just a reminder, you are watching a Bowls New South Wales feed. Bowls New South Wales, the YouTube page, you can get on and watch the Grade 1 from Yamba at the same time. So you can switch back and forwards between the two games. So we are commentating here from Club Merrylands in Western Sydney. And you'll have Nick Hind commentating on the ones as we see a great start there from Michael Howard. Yes, so you can watch both Bowls New South Wales Grade 1 and Grade 2 games on the Bowls New South Wales YouTube page. And going forward, they're hoping to have several different games at the same time being live streamed from their YouTube page. So there's a little bit of a test. Good weight there from Craig Poole, but he's gone a bit tight on that hand. That is the wider hand that he played. Michael here is playing the tighter hand. And he's nailed it with his first one. He looks like he's on a similar line again. Yes, very good bowling. That's awesome leading. Skip will be very happy with that. But it has framed it a little bit here for the Charlestown side. But once again, a little bit tight there from Craig. So I'm pretty sure Brad Hennessey here playing second for Kempsey Macleay. He'll be looking to try and change things up a bit as well. He's finished in a nice position there, just in behind, so it's just outside our camera shot, but he is on the green. So the only female in this final, Raweang Namutwong, you might know her. She's played a lot of high-level women's bowls. So just going through some of the early results from these sides. So as we see this bowl from Brad Hennessey coming down now, and he's going to be a little bit shy, but it's not going to be such a bad position to put a bowl in the eye of the Charlestown side. But Charlestown, they started off their campaign against Foster, and they had a 9-1 win by 16 shots over Foster 73-57. And then in their second game, they had a much tougher game, as we see just shy there from Raweang. Second game, Charlestown had an 8-shot win over Narrandera. That was a very tough game. Both of those had won their first game. And then in the final game, which Charlestown had already won 2 games, so I wasn't over here at Merrylands at that stage. I was over at Guildford. But Charlestown got a little bit of a touch-up from Belrose. 77-38 they lost, but that was still good enough for them to get through. As Ian Rocky Stone comes down now, he's just going to run into that front bowl. So it's still the 2 lead bowls of Michael Howard, the 2 closest bowls. There for Kempsey. And then in the quarterfinal yesterday, it was a very tight game again for Charlestown, a 3-shot win over Scone. As we see that bowl there from Craig Eades is just a little bit quick, probably more than anything. Yes, so Charlestown had 1.5 rink wins and a 3-shot win over Scone in the quarterfinals yesterday afternoon. And then this morning in the semi-final, probably sounds like a little bit of a blowout at 66-52, but it was a very close game against Waverley. That was only towards the end that Charlestown really pushed it out. Another bowl sweeping across the head there. this bowl here from Craig Eades is just going to go behind. So it is once again Kempsey Macleay in the box seat here. Courtesy of those two orange bowls from their lead, Michael Howard. So as we cross over, just looking at what Kempsey Macleay has done over the last couple of days. So in their first round, they were pushed right to the brink from Penrith. That was a 3-shot win for Kempsey Macleay. But after that, things started to change a little bit because they came out and had an absolute awesome game where they scored 105 shots to 36, defeating Armidale City. And then in the third round, 71 to 36, so nearly double the score there as we see Greg Brims' first bowl coming down here. Yeah, so they nearly doubled Canton Beach's score as well in the final Poole game. So Dave Collins now having a little bit of look about what he's going to do. So you can see it should be fairly obvious. There's white stickers there. They are the Kempsey Macleay side. And they're holding at least those two orange ones and possibly 4 with the 2 just in front of it. So he's got to make a decision here whether he goes up through the middle looking for something or just on the draw beat the wing bowl, which is what looks like he's being called there by Craig Eades. Is beat that wing bowl, grab second shot, move on to the next end. So while this bowl is just about to come out of his hand, so in the quarter-final over at Guildford, Kempsey Macleay RSL, they had a good lead and Cabramatta came back at them, but in the end it was Kempsey Macleay that won 59-54. As we watch this bowl coming down, he's just got to try and skirt those front ones and get inside the orange. He's just a little bit heavy, and he's just trying to sit and stay. So it's a good sider with one to come. And then this morning we had Kempsey Macleay play a Penrith, and they had a good win, 16 shots, 64-48 over Penrith. So Greg Brims has just run into his own bowl there. It's probably replace it, so there's really no change here. When I say no change, there's no change for Dave Collins. It is another shot in there for Kempsey Macleay, courtesy of Greg Brims. Well, he's a similar line to his first one. It is all about his weight here. He's chasing it a bit. Got to skirt the front. Little touch would have helped him. Well, he's definitely changed that up. That's a very good saver there. Could well have been 5 down. May well only be 2. They're looking at the second one now. Could only be 1 here. Which would be... That's 2. So very, very good bowl there from Dave Collins. It's saved him, I reckon, 3 shots. Obviously only early days yet. Long way to go. But when you save 3 shots like that, that can get your side up and going. Great conditions here this afternoon. We are late August and we have 20 plus degrees all 3 days. No dew this morning, so the green is running very well, looking probably about 15.5 at the moment. And it's been Kempsey Macleay that's got the jump here on Charlestown over the first couple of ends. It's 6-3 after 6 ends. All 3 rinks will play 21 ends if required. So we've got Craig Poole now playing lead for Charlestown. He's just going to go a bit narrow there. That seems to be swinging more than I've seen for a long time on that hand. Not sure what sort of bowls he's using. But yeah, it's that particular hand usually stays fairly straight with a little bit of weight. Well, that's definitely going to be the shot. The green will be changing at the moment. It actually swung out of the way, obviously, but yeah, it has changed a little bit. So I reckon it's probably running a good second quicker than what these guys played on it earlier this morning. So they're going to have to adjust. And Brad Hennessey, he's worked it out. He's all over it. So Nang just falling a metre and a half shy. The other two rinks seem to have been getting the weight a little bit better here on this direction. So whilst this could be called the ditch rink, as you can see, it's well inside. Brad Hennessey, he's got in there again. Very good bowling there. And apparently Brad's only been playing competitive bowls for 5 years. So here he is at a state final within 5 years of playing the game. And showing some very good wares here. And Nang's just got to be a bit quick. Get him behind there. So the Charlestown side just really haven't been able to get their weight on this particular rink at the moment. They, as I said earlier, they did play on this green, but it was the far three rinks. Kempsey Macleay did play on these three rinks. They have been moved over half a rink, so they're not playing on the same rinks, and they did change it up. So if they were on rink 2, they're on 3, and 3 is on 1, blah, blah, blah. So it is definitely no major advantage for Kempsey Macleay, but they have come out of the blocks a lot better. Once again, we see a heavy bowl, but it has worked out nicely for Craig Eades from Charlestown. He's run into the shot bowl that Brad Hennessey was holding for Kempsey Macleay, and he's flopped in for a lovely looking bowl there. And Rocky Stone, he's been around many, many years at high levels. In fact, 10 years ago, in 2017, he was the State Senior Bowler of the Year in Bowls New South Wales. Yeah, another good effort there. That's going to be 2 shots there to Craig Eades for the Charlestown side. I think it's pretty close, but it's probably 2 shots. Yes, if you're a follower of bowls, you will know that Ian Rocky Stone, who's just played those bowls down there then, he's been around for many, many years, done some great stuff. As I said, he was a State Senior Bowler of the Year. He has won a couple of Premier League championships, and he's also won a State Grade 1 title as well. Well, Greg's pulled up a little shy there. On this rink, Greg is in front 4-0 after 2 ends. But he's probably 2 shots down here, and there's a couple of bowls yet to come from Dave Collins. Craig Eades looks quite confident this is going to be in as well, although it's just pulled up. Close. So this is Greg Brims' last bowl. He's at least 2 down. Just got to add a metre on his last. Well, he's added that. And some. So this bowl here, Dave Collins has the chance. I think it's 2, looking at it live. That's his bowl coming up, but he's going to be short, so I think it'll be 2, but it will be a measure. His weight was very good too. So they've kicked one out. They're going to throw the tape on it for the second one. And just a reminder, you are on Bowls New South Wales YouTube page. You can get the stream of the Grade 1 final from Yamba. So if you click back out, it is only one. Oh, actually, it might have been 2 shots. Yes, I saw the second thing come out from behind. Yes, you can go on to the YouTube page of Bowls New South Wales. You'll have access not only to this particular stream, but Grade 1. So feel free to switch backwards and forwards. As Grade 1, you've got Baddo Bay up against Corrimal. Corrimal, the reigning champions. And at the moment, it's Baddo Bay with a 6-3 lead, but that's very early in the game as well. Well, we're just going to pick that jack up out of the ditch and throw it back down. So Kempsey will have the chance to dictate the length of this end. On the middle rink, Peter Taylor's got out to a 7-0 lead after 3 ends for Kempsey. And it's a 5-0 lead to Charlestown in the other rink. Only early days yet. 9 of 63 ends played. It's not a bad start again from Craig Poole. He's been tight every end, but his weight's been pretty good. So once again, he's jack high. Craig has only been playing for 4.5 years. So once again, another fairly new player to the game. And he's made the state finals. Grade 2. Nice start there. Little touch on the jack there for Kempsey Macleay. Once again, Craig Poole got good weight here. He's got the shot well and truly. It's probably up and down for the second. There's a lot of bowls to come. It's a good start. His skip will be very happy with that. But this one here is a great start from Michael Howard. 1 on it and 1 just in behind on the angle for any sort of trail. So his skip will be very happy with that one too, as Nang for Charlestown gets on the mats. That is the narrower hand, and you can see the very big difference between Nang's bowls and Craig Poole's blue bowls for her side. Also, his was swinging right across, and Nang's held out there. Brad Hennessey is just going to be in behind. Once again, a nice little position there. Well, she's improved her grass here. It's just going to fall up a little bit short, though. It will be second shot. Yeah, another good bowl down here from Kempsey. It's just going to run into Nang's bowl and roll it up for shot, but I don't think they'll be too upset with that. That has made their side's tactical play probably a lot better here. So Craig Eades on the mat. Ideally, he'd be trying to just change this up a little bit here. They got the shot, but they got nothing much behind. They got the one bowl to the left, a good bowl behind. So there's all positives here for Kempsey Macleay RSL to be up and through it. Sit the bowl and stay for 3, move the jack. So we can see the result of that. It's just not quite got the shot. It has opened it up a bit, but it's probably a little bit harder now for Kempsey Macleay, and Charlestown will not be unhappy with the result of that. Possibly got 2 shots. Oh, that is a very good bowl. There is a bit of a gap there too. So Kempsey, I would assume, will not be trying to be short at this, but there is that gap there. So, yeah, trying to play a couple of feet through, sit and stay, or fall 2 feet short. You got the shot on the draw. That's the narrow hand, so it's well and truly under that short bowl. And is he on the right line here? Can he hold on enough? Not quite. That's a great bowl, though. Once again, increased the options there for his skip, Greg Brims. So as you can see on the other rinks, Peter Taylor's gone out to a 9-0 start for Kempsey Macleay on the middle rink after 4 ends. And it's 5-0 on the far rink in favour of Charlestown. But all that matters is that big board, the score up in the top right-hand corner. And that's Kempsey Macleay, RSL in front, 13-7 over Charlestown. Well, Dave Collins, if he can get under this, he'll be close. Oh, he was millimetres out of his weight, was awesome. So apparently everyone knows him as Charlie. I'm not quite sure of the origin of that, whether it's got something to do with the Charlestown or not. But now that bowl's out of the way, he can play the same bowl, and he's got to be very close. Greg has pulled up a little bit short and narrow. So it's looking very good for Charlestown at the moment. As Dave Collins, Charlie goes to the mat. I'm pretty sure he'd be happy to change this up because Greg Brims has all the back bowls to the back left-hand side there. He doesn't want to leave anything here that will make it any easier to have the option of playing a little bit of weight and taking that jack through. So trailing it himself a couple of inches would be absolutely brilliant. Just tuck it away. It's on a good line again by the looks of it. Should come down underneath that now. He's done that. And whilst that probably doesn't count, it's in such a good spot there now. So that Greg Brims, he's just going to be drawing here now. He's 2 down, I believe. Just got to add a couple of feet and make sure he's got the grass right, which I believe he has. And he's in a nice position here to sit off the black bowl for shot. And that is why Greg Brims has over 100 club titles or higher. And he's in a nice position here to sit off the black bowl for shot. And that is why Greg Brims... Great shot. And thank you very much to Katie Astley on the camera work there. So just a reminder, you're watching the BCiB Bowls New South Wales Grade 2 Open Pennant State Final between Charlestown and Kempsey Macleay. You can go onto YouTube's Bowls New South Wales page and watch the Grade 1 final. Switching in and out between the two of them. We've got Baddo Bay against Corrimal in the Grade 1s, and at the moment, Baddo Bay has a 9-7 lead after 9 ends over Corrimal. Well, good start here from Kempsey, 14-7. It's always better to be a few shots in front than behind. They've been very solid in every game that they've played. As I mentioned to you, they did score 105 shots in one of their pool games. But we see Craig Poole there with once again a really good weighted shot, and he's improved his grass a bit. He has been a little bit narrow on this hand, but his weight has been sensational. So he keeps this grass up. He's going to be pushing the Kempsey Macleay side. Michael Howard, he's followed down that same hand, and he's a bit tight there. This green will be a good second quicker than what they played on this morning, and it will turn a bit more. Craig's thrown it out this time. A little bit too much by the looks of it. Once again, his weight is sensational. Just behind is, that's great. Got a great crowd out there watching too. You can see on the left-hand side of your screen there's a lot of spectators following both these sides. A lot of bowlers who played this morning are still around. Waverley's in behind there watching all this as well. As Brad Hennessey finishes just in behind. So it is one shot to Charlestown at the moment. Well, Nang's going to be a touch shy again. Well, Brad's trying to wave this one in. He's done well with that because it is coming back in nicely. Great shot from Brad. He's been one of the better bowlers so far in these few ends that we've seen so far. Hasn't been far away from it every time. And on your screen you can see Nang here. Just needs to add a good meter. The line looks really good. Was a bit tight, but yeah, it's another good one in amongst it all. Nang is a current New South Wales senior representative who recently defeated Victoria. And Rocky Stone coming down now. He's going to be just under a metre shy. As I've said, Ian has been here and done that. He's won 2 Premier League titles and also a Grade 1 pennant. Well, this is a nice aggressive line here from Craig Eades. And that is their bowl that he's put it out to. So it's a very good conversion shot there. He's finished Jack high. Bit of room there still, but yeah. Rocky coming down now. He's got a good line on it to beat that bowl. It's just depending on weight. It's very close. Yeah, it's probably still one of Charlestown there from Craig Eades. He's just converted. Now, can he draw another one in amongst it? Well, he's done this fairly well. He's just going to knock that bowl out of the head for a couple. So Charlestown holding a couple of shots here as we have the changeover with the skips going to the mats now. Currently on this rink we have Greg Brims over Dave Collins 5-2 in favour of Kempsey Macleay. And you can see there on the other scoreboards, the individual rinks, we've got scores to 0. So on 5 ends and 4 ends. And it is Kempsey with the biggest lead there, 10-0 to Peter Taylor. So overall, Kempsey looking nice at a 7-shot lead as Greg Brims in amongst the area. He's going to slide through. Charlestown holding 2 with their skip David Collins coming up now. This particular hand is usually a lot tighter than the other one, but you can see it swinging across there. If they get out a bit wider onto virgin territory, it might stay a lot straighter. But both skips have employed a very safe line, making sure they come into bounds. Okay, Greg's last bowl here for his Kempsey side. He's looking like he's going to hold up enough and stay for shots. Weight was sensational again. So, couple of second shots here for David Collins. He may be thinking about trying to sit that bowl and stay for 3. Or obviously he can just try and draw the shot. There is about a half a metre of room for him to get inside. Well, he looks like he's in the area as long as he touches something here, because he is a little over. He's grabbed the jack and it's gone. Well, there's 3 bowls there. The only one he holds is the one in the middle, and that's the one that's ended up shot. So a great result there for David Collins. May have been a bit fortuitous. Maybe he played for it, I'm not quite sure. But another shot there for Charlestown. So they're now looking at putting the mat up a lot and shortening it right up. So the mat is probably just shy of 10 metres up from the tee. He's put the jack about a metre shy of the tee, so fairly short end here. So Michael Howard here, once again, he's just a little tight. His weight has been sensational. Once he starts getting that grass out there, he's going to be nailing this jack every bowl. You're looking there at Michael Howard, there now. That was Craig Poole, obviously, was the lead there for Charlestown. So Michael's going to pull up 2 metres shy. Craig's just got to get his grass out there. You can see he skipped David Collins there, putting his foot out nice and wide. When he has gone narrow, he's overcorrected wide most ends. This isn't going to be bad grass again. That's a good correction. And same here from Michael Howard. He's gone from a couple of metres shy to a couple of metres over. As current New South Wales senior player Nang gets on the mat. Also playing that narrower backhand. And for her bowls, this grass should be good. It's all about a weight here now. Not quite going to get around. And that'll make Brad Hennessey change over here. Just got to beat that jack high bowl, and he'll probably have the shot. So Nangi's going to stay on the same hand now. Just got to navigate either around or under her own bowl. Well, she's definitely around with this particular grass, but I don't think on that hand it'll come back enough. Yeah, very well weighted. It is a couple of shots here to Charlestown. So skip Greg Brims will be hoping that Brad Hennessey can get one in amongst this. He's going to be narrow though, just about his weight. And as the thirds come up to the mat now, it's a very nice situation for Charlestown at the moment. And on the other 2 rinks, it's still one side out in front comfortably. We've got a 10-0 to Kempsey, and we've got a 6-0 to Charlestown. And this particular rink, it is Kempsey with a 3-shot lead at 5-2. Craig Eades holding a couple of shots for his Charlestown side. That may well count, but there's a lot of bowls to come. And Rocky Stone, very first bowls coordinator at Rural Bowling Club. Been there many years ago. Was one of the mainstays to get Rural where they were. Obviously some heavy hitters after him with, as we watch in Rocky Stone with an absolute pool of a bowl there. Yeah, so we had Eric Johannes and some very quality bowlers over the years at Wirrilla. But Rocky was the first one there. Leif Selby, not sure if there was anyone between Leif and Rocky, but Leif did some great stuff down there. Eric Johannes did some great stuff with the juniors, and then in recent years they've had a bunch of internationals. That one's going to run through a bit. Jeremy Henry, Gary Kelly, Corey Wedlock, all at the same club. What a trio those three are with at Teasy down there. But this man in Rocky Stone, you can see here now, seemed to drop his head there. I'm not sure if he's overly happy with it, but he's got to be in the area. Well, it may not be second, but it definitely helped out because his first bowl cut 3 shots out, at least. So it's 1 shot to Kempsey Macleay on the changeover. Just a reminder, if you click back to the homepage of Bowls New South Wales, you'll be able to see the BCiB Grade 1 Open Pennant State Finals link. If you want to watch Baddo Bay versus Corrimal being the reigning champions from the Wollongong area, Baddo Bay on the New South Wales Central Coast, and at the moment is Baddo Bay 15-9 over Corrimal. And on your screen, you were just looking at David Collins from Charlestown. 1 shot down at the head. And just shy. Good side here, only has to need a couple of feet. You'll have the definite shot. Greg Brims is going to leave that hand open for him. Come down on his backhand here. He's already a holding shot. Just probably got to beat that back bowl of Charlestown's. And that will be 2. So Dave's having a look here on his forehand. I think the signal was to go up underneath and try and sit those bowls. Probably the better percentage shot rather than trying to add a foot in his last, or a couple of feet would still be good enough. So Charlestown Tigers, we've got David Collins here skipping on this rink. He's playing very good solid weight, nice and aggressive. He's in the area, he's going to get at least one of them. He's going to get the both. Not quite, that was a very good effort. So there's a couple of feet here for Greg Brims to draw a second for Kempsey Macleay. He's only won about 100 titles apparently from clubber up. So I would back him in here. Well, his weight's good. I'm not quite sure. I think it's 2, but the camera angles can lie a bit. Yeah, having a look. Going to get the tape out. So it's at least 1 to Kempsey Macleay. And Looks like 2. Just depends on this front one. I think I saw 2 fingers. No, it is only 1 on the scoreboard that they've flicked over. So as I said, our scores are getting updated by our volunteers outside. And so that will be coming up very shortly. It's now 7-3. There you can go. It's already been put up there. Great conditions here in Western Sydney. There is a slight breeze coming directly over the players' heads from where they're bowling now towards this jack. It's just a steady breeze, not very strong. We've only played 17 of the 63 ends, but it is a very good start from Kempsey Macleay RSL. Got a 10-shot lead over Charlestown. Yeah, you got a good shot there of Craig Poole playing for up lead for Charlestown. Once again, his weight has been very good. As I mentioned earlier, Craig's only been playing for about 4.5 years, and here he is in a state final playing for a platinum level club in Charlestown Tigers. Nice stable base on his delivery. Very smooth. Very good technique. Very balanced. Commentator's curse. He's just gone through a couple of meters. So he's just shy of the ditch. Got his grass right. Hennessey's gone a little bit too quick and ended up in the ditch. Nice good shot there from Nang. State over 60s player. Once again, a nice smooth delivery. This hand does turn a bit more, so her grass is probably not going to be too bad, but she won't have the weight on this particular bowl. And on the left-hand side of the screen there, it's going to be very difficult in that narrower hand to get around those orange bowls. So I think we'll see most of the bowls over the next couple of players will be out on this hand. Rad's fallen a bit short there. David Collins is calling him to get around that. There's plenty of room out in that wide hand out here on the backhand there. So Nang has just got to add 2 metres to her first one. Unfortunately, he hasn't quite got the weight. And Rocky Stone, picture of concentration. Looking to come round his leads bowls here. Well, he grasped that very well. Just a little bit of weight and he'll get round that. Starting to get a little bit congested in front here. Probably doesn't look real good from the mat end, but there is enough space to get around both sides. Craig Eades has just gone round behind. He's going to just stay up. Almost overhanging the ditch. I can see that live from where I am. So there's 2 bowls back behind the head, 1 for each side. Rocky's just looking to add 2 metres to his last. We can see Greg clapping on the right-hand side of the screen there, and this is the reason why. Because Rocky has played a great bowl. Craig Eades here on the mat. Just trying to sneak around those front bowls on the narrower hand. Well, he's played this pretty well. It's going to be a very good second shot. Early days in this game, 18 ends out of 63 here in Western Sydney. We're at Club Merrylands. That's Greg Brims, you can see on screen now, from Kempsey Macleay RSL. Played a lot of high-level bowls over the years in that particular area of the world, at Port City and those sorts of clubs up that area, Sawtell. Just didn't get around those ones. But he has the shot, and it's only fattened that left-hand side of the screen. So David Collins, he's going to go over onto the backhand. Must look tough on the draw on both ends at the moment. A lot of traffic, so he's decided to play a bit of weight up here. Those blue bowls are all his. The orange one is against him. So he's 1 down. Possibly 4 seconds now, though. So Greg's asked the question about who owns those bowls over on the right-hand side of the screen. It's on his backhand, and Rocky said, no, they're against you. So he's asked him to come a little bit tight down there on that forehand. That is the narrow hand. He's got to get the gap because the last bowl, that yellow and black one on the line, is against him. So he's just got to try and get between that and the orange bowl. It's a bit too wide for that. But can he find the other gap? And he can't. That was his own bowl he hit up, but no change. But Kempsey Macleay do hold shot here. Dave Collins with the last bowl. He's played weight down on his back end on his last bowl. That's no longer an option for him unless he's just looking for the bowl clean. He may well have 4 seconds though. It's very difficult to tell from this angle. He definitely has 3 seconds. So the one just behind the head, the black bowl, that is his, and the two to the right of it, the bluish bowls, are his. And it just depends on whether that orange bowl holds him out. So he's going to come down on that forehand. He's got 2 options. He either looks for the bowl with a big weight, or he's just trying to draw through that gap. Touch the jack would be good. He's got his own bowl, which could be good. It's just not quite the right angle. And it will be one shot to Kempsey Macleay. That'll take them out to a 20-11 lead. And the big difference in this match in the Grade 2 BCiB Open Pennant State Final is Peter Taylor with a good lead on his rink, 11-0 over David King. That is the major difference at this particular point of time, but we are only early in the game. So Paul from Armidale, he's watching on the bus on the way back to Armidale. They nearly made it through to the quarterfinals. They had to win their last game, and they held they had a 4-shot lead going in the last end. But Trent Whittingham from Penrith drew a 4th shot through a very narrow channel to tie the game up, and on percentages, Penrith went through to the quarterfinal and then finally the semi-final, where they got beaten by Kempsey Macleay this morning. So hello to all the Armidale people on the bus, especially Toddy Fuller, who won the Guildford Cup yesterday against my co-commentator Cody Astley. And once again, if you want to watch the Open Pennant Grade 1 final, click back on YouTube to the Bowls New South Wales page. They've got 2 streams going. Got this one here for the Grade 2 Pennant Finals here at Club Merrylands, and in Yamba, the Grade 1s, where Baddo Bay and Corrimal are doing battle. And Corrimal, the reigning champions, have come back after a little slow start. They're 1 shot behind Baddo Bay at the moment. 17-16 to Baddo Bay after 17 ends. In the background there you can see our president and umpire in the pink. That's Una Bell, one of our great volunteers here at Club Merrylands. Well, Nanga's been pulling up short with most of her bowls, so let's see if she can get her weight up here on this particular bowl. And she's done that this time, just gone a bit wide. One of our BCiB Bowls New South Wales over 60 senior representatives. And this is Brad Hennessey now. And that is a metre behind in a very good spot. So his teammate Michael Howard with the orange bowls is holding shots. Nang has improved the grass here. It just depends on whether she's got the weight to get up and inside. Not quite. So it's still advantage to Kempsey Macleay RSL. As Ian Rockystone jumps on the mat. Out on the wider swinging hand here. So that should be a fairly good grass for his bowls. It's coming in nicely now. And that will be another counter. So the front end on this rink of Kempsey Macleay RSL have been giving their back end a really good start. Craig Eades has got really good grass on this. If he can just get down, he'll be in the area to cut it down. Yeah, possibly 2 to Kempsey Macleay here. Rocky again, doesn't have to change much on his first bowl. And he has played it well again. This is why this man has done so much in our game. Nonchalantly threw that down, jack high, possibly 3 shots to Kempsey, with one more bowl to come from the thirds. You can see Dave Collins here looking to call his third. Craig Eades on a shot. We asked Craig Eades what some of his personal high achievements were, and probably can't repeat the whole lot of it, but it's something about 26 schooners of 2 years old, but I'm sure he's done a lot more than that in the game. He's not quite sure about the call here, so he's going to come down on the tighter backhand. Yeah, he's questioning it again. It would look very hard from the mat end for a draw shot. Those short bowls probably look like they're in his way. But on that tighter hand, he definitely can come under that front short bowl, slightly across the line and still get shot. So I'm not sure whether they're looking for that draw up there underneath it or whether they're looking to play a little bit of weight. We'll obviously get a bit of an idea as it comes out of his hand. So Craig Eades, he's chasing after us. I assume he's playing a bit of weight. Well, that's his bowl he's probably going to run into, and it's looking like a good angle. So he's got a good result out of it. Although it still could be 2 down. So hard to tell with the angles, but the 2 to the right with the white stickers, they're Kempsey Macleay RSL bowls. And that last bowl that got pushed up, that is the Charlestown bowl. So this is from the far end from our commentary box. So live, I can't tell. And I won't trust the angles on the screen. I get them wrong a fair bit. And in the grade 1 Pennant, we've got Corrimal's hit the lead for the first time, I believe. It's 21-19 to Corrimal over Baddo Bay after 20 of 63 ends, as we see Greg Brims with an absolute pearler of a bowl. See this replay here. He's making it look so easy. Everyone else has been a little bit struggling with the pace that's changed from the morning game, but Greg Brims making it look very easy. Dave Collins now, he looks like he's on a good line. He's going to be in the area. He gets the right angle, and he has. He's got the shot. David Collins with a great bowl there to follow up from a great bowl from his opposition skip, Greg Brims. So Greg's asked a couple of questions of Rocky Stone, not a great deal. He knows what he's going to do, so it looks like a very attacking line, but he doesn't have to wait for that. So it will be 1 to Charlestown with a bowl to come. Not a great deal on for him. As long as he doesn't sort of play more than a couple of feet through, he's not going to have any danger, but doesn't want to be a yard through and roll his own over onto the jack. He could be a few down. So I would think he would play this quite conservatively. Probably try and go a touch wider than his last bowl. And ideally just get around his own bowl. Just a little underweight. But it is a shot to Charlestown. It's gone to 14-22. 8 shots behind. Keep within single figures and anything can happen. So Charlestown Tigers 14-22 down, about a third of the way through. The early nerves are probably gone. The next 20 ends or so, they'll be just going through the motions. Then if it's close then, the nerves may come back. It'll be interesting to see how each of these players cope with that. Michael Howard here is just going to be a little shy as well. So there is a bit of cloud cover here at the moment, and the shadow will be coming across the club onto this rink as well. So it will start to slow down over the next half an hour. Great weight again from Craig Poole. His weight has been excellent. Michael Howard now. He's won a state in his own, and this is the reason why he's playing bowls like that. Played in a lot of state finals in the seniors. Speaking of seniors, this is Nang. She's current BCiB senior women's representative. Grasped this well. She's been a bit short recently, but that is great weight, and that would have been all over it if she didn't get that clash, but that was her bowl. And it's opened the window for her next one. Brad Hennessey's looking to get down onto this orange bowl. Just a touch over. Once again, he's finished behind. He's been playing very good weight, giving his team lots of options. Nang does not need to change much at all. She is tighter. Has she got the weight to get up around? And she doesn't. So still advantaged Kempsey Macleay. So Brad looking to take a couple of metres off, which he's done. He just straight out a little wider. Close to flopping in for a second one. Very good effort there. But the 2 orange bowls do belong to Kempsey Macleay. So as we see Ian Rocky Stone start to put his bowl down, just running through again what Kempsey Macleay's done. So in round 1, they had to play Penrith, and they end up playing Penrith again in the semi-final here today. They beat Penrith by 3 shots in round 1, and about a dozen in the semi-final, as Rocky has got another one in there. So it's probably 4 shots. And then in round 2, Kempsey Macleay had an absolute blinder of a game. Scored 105 shots against their opponents, Armidale, which almost guaranteed them to get through. And then in their third game, they went on to almost double the score of Canton Beach, 71-36. Craig Eades now is just going to cut across the head. And then in the quarterfinals, Kempsey went out to a decent lead against Cabramatta, who came back well, but it wasn't a 5-shot win to Kempsey Macleay in that quarterfinal just over at Gilbert Bowling Club, 59-54. And as I mentioned, they defeated Penrith again this morning, the second time they played against each other. It was a 64-48 win. Penrith were down one of their skips. Speaking of skips, they're walking to the mat now. Dave Collins having a little bit of a look at this head. He's 4 shots down. From his body language, I think he might be looking at playing a little bit of weight. It's just a matter of what hand he's going to do that on. I don't think he can draw to the jack on either hand, so if he wanted to draw, he'd have to go on the forehand and try and come a little bit narrow. It's his bowl coming up, and try and sit on the orange bowl. But I think the body language, as I said, is some form of weight. And it is going to be down on the backhand, so it's definitely weight. He's close to getting this bare jack. That's his bowl coming up. He's sat with the nice weight to sit and stay. Just gone through. Could be still 3 down there, I think. And possibly a harder shot to play now. Greg Brims is just going to get back onto that closest bowl of theirs. Well, he's made at least 4. And the pressure is going to be on David Collins. He's going to trundle up a little bit here and have a look. I think more to calm himself down. I don't know he's got anything else on, but like a yard through at most. He's down on the forehand, sitting that pack to the right. So while they're looking at that, let's have a bit of a rundown of how Charlestown got here. So in their section, they defeated Foster in the first game by 16 shots, 73-57. In the second game, they winners versus winners in the second round. They had an 8-shot win over Narrandera, which had both sides still in the mix there. Charlestown didn't really need to win the last game, and that was the case. They got a little bit of a touch-up from Belrose, doubled their score, 38 for Charlestown, 77 for Belrose. As we see this bowl coming down now from David Collins. 4 down. Drawing down on the forehand. He's just got to get up in front of that blue one to cut things down. He hasn't cut that one out, so I think it might be 3 shots still to Kempsey here. And Greg Brims will have the last say on this end. As I said, I think they're holding 3 shots anyway. Currently, overall, Kempsey has a 14-shot lead, so this is going to push things out a fair bit. And as we watch this bowl come down now, well, he's close. Great shot there from Greg Brims. They've taken 3 out. They're looking at the 4th. That is 4, and that will be it. So it is 4 shots to Kempsey Macleay. It is 32-14, and that is a very strong lead early in the game now. Starting to stretch things out. Peter Taylor leading 15-2. In the quarterfinals, Charlestown had to play Scone, and that was a good battle. Scores fluctuated a bit there, and in the end, it was a 3-shot win to Charlestown, 58-55, which put them into this morning's semi-final, which, as I mentioned, they played Pennant. That was Kempsey. Charlestown played Waverley this morning. It fluctuated a little bit. But Charlestown did defeat Waverley by 14 shots in the end, as Waverley tried to make a few shots at the end there to try and bridge the gap that they had. So just a reminder, you are watching the BCiB Grade 2 Open Pennant State Final. If you want to watch the Grade 1 Pennant Final between Baddo Bay and Corrimal, you can go back to the YouTube page of Bowls New South Wales and click on the Grade 1 live stream. But we'll be giving you updates. So Corrimal are the reigning champions, and they were a little bit behind Baddo Bay early, but they've now got a 2-shot lead, 23-21, as we see a good bowl there. From Craig Poole, whose weight has been good, but he's been that bit narrow. If he can just get that grass out there, he'll be nailing it. Michael Howard has been extremely solid up front for Kempsey. Those orange bowls have been in and around that jack a lot. Been very solid doing his job. Now Craig once again is just that tiny bit narrow. His weight once again is impeccable. And with Michael Howard up front doing such a good job, Brad Hennessey is on the mat now, throwing it down, has continued to do his job, getting in just behind. And he's done that yet again. The pressure that these front end of Kempsey has Macleay RSL has just been brilliant. Peter Taylor's won another end there in the middle rink. Brad Hennessey's going to run into his leads bowl. Makes 4. They're Their front end is doing their job brilliantly. Followed up by two legends of our game in Ian Rocky Stone and Greg Brims. When your front end's doing that, you don't have to do a great deal. Nang's gone down on the wider hand. She's been playing the other hand most of the time, and it's one of the few bowls she's put out in that hand, so it's not surprising she's gone narrow. The other hand is a lot narrower than this one. So the call there from the lead, Michael Held, is for Rocky to get down just in behind on the right-hand side of screen, so on the backhand. They're holding 4 shots. They're in a great position. 19 shots up on the big board, 8 shots up on the rink, and holding 4 shots after the front end have played their bowls. Pretty much a luxury here for Rocky. So some big bowls coming up here from Charlestown's back end. Craig Eades looks like he's on a good line. He's on a very good line. He sits that back bowl for shot. That is huge for his side, and it's hidden in behind the jack. It's just what his side wants. We're not quite halfway, but at 19 shots the difference, it's important that Charlestown can just try and stay in touch, get it down into single figures, and a big bowl like that from Craig is going to do the job. Rocky's changed hands, and he's played good way to this. He's got the little edge. Well, that's in a good spot. They can afford to be up like that. They've got the next 4 shots. Well, Craig doesn't need to change much here. Looks like he's on a great line again. Is he going to get down underneath? He is. Don't fatten it up too much. Very good bowl. Flop over. Just what his skip ordered. Holding 2 shots on the changeover. Craig Eades with 2 great bowls there. Greg Brims going to the mat now. He's got an 8-shot lead in his rink and a 19-shot lead on the big board. He will not be short. He's got everything out to the right of screen where the jack can go. So he won't be feeling any pressure here. He can choose his weight. If he plays big, it'll kill. If he plays a really good couple of metres through, he can make 3 or 4. We can hear a police siren in the background. Usually get a dozen of those a day. Yes, so Greg playing weight down here on the backhand. Just got to get inside the orange one. If he gets to the outside of it, he might knock it in for a shot. Very difficult hand to play with a bit of weight. It sticks out there. So we've got David Collins now holding 2 shots for Charlestown. He's got to survive one more bowl from Greg Brims from Kempsey Macleay RSL. But ideally, he'd love to make at least one of his last 2 bowls count in case Greg misses. 19 shots down on the big board. He'll be actually looking over at the board now. It's actually 21 shots. Yes, that's correct on the board here in front of me too. So ideally he needs to add more than just the 2 he's got. Well, he's played good weight. I don't know that's going to get down though. But pretty good cider for his next one if Greg does not alter the head. Well, he's asked Rocky what to do, but I'm sure he's going to play the same shot. Same weight as his last bowl. All in his favour. The only danger if he gets the jack through the gap to the left-hand side of the screen, he could go down a couple, but he's already down a couple. So, not much risk versus reward. He's got less weight on this one. He's going to be in the area to change things up. Oh my goodness, what a bowl. He might be one down, but what a bowl. David Collins got a smile on his face. What does he do? Like, there's almost got to take the one here. There's so much danger. Like, he'll play it and he'll endeavour to get another one in amongst it. But that last bowl from Greg makes it so difficult here for David Collins to play anything with a lot of confidence. This Kempsey Macleay side has been solid all weekend. Can't do much wrong. Last bowl of the end, coming down from Charlestown skip David Collins, holding one shot. Yeah, the chicken wings have come out from Ian Rocky Stone, and I do not blame David Collins at all. The bowl from Greg Brims made it so difficult for him to add much to that head. Take the shot, move on, 20 shots behind, 35-15. But it is another shot for Charlestown. They do lead on one rink. So rink scores don't come into this. Obviously, it's the big board, but as you can see, it is a lead there to Brett Waugh over Daniel Abella, 8-7. But it is a big lead, 16-2 to Peter Taylor over David King, and that is the biggest difference on here with Greg Brims on this live stream rink picking up lots of ends to lead 12-5. And a great shot from Kempsey. Yet again, Michael Howard has put a bowl right near the jack. The front end has been great. This man on your screen now, Craig Poole, he has had great weight all day. Been tight like that. So that's a good result for his side. Put it out a bit wider. Opened it up. Reminder that you can watch the Grade 1 final from Yamba between Baddo Bay and Corrimal, which is currently all tied up at 24 apiece after 25 ends. And another very good bowl here from Michael Howard. Nailed it with his first. The jack was moved by his opponent and he's got another one there. Nang playing second for Charlestown. She's going to stay down here on the tighter hand. Well, this is probably her best bowl, first bowl in the game so far. Getting the shot there. We know what she's capable of. She's a state representative. And she's the only female in this final. Hennessey just in behind. So both the seconds choosing to play this tighter hand towards the rink peg. So that blue line to the right of the jack is the boundary. Oh, it's a good line from Nang. Oh, actually, it is going to go outside. Turned a bit more than I expected out in that hand. I'm not sure whether that's in bounds or not. May well be overhanging the boundary. I'm going to have a bit more of a look at it now. Brad's not happy with this one. Weighted it well, but well wide. So I think they might be going to call the umpire on this. So they're looking at the bowl on the right hand side of screen to see whether that's in bounds or not. So we've got our umpire Maureen Randall out there looking through the telescope now. There you go. Katie's got the picture perfectly for us. Maureen was the Bowls New South Wales Volunteer of the Year last year. She's saying it's in. So it's obviously just a part of it overhanging that line. So as you can see, the bowl looks like it's on the right-hand side of that line, but there is a part of it that is overhanging the middle of the line. Umpire said that. So it's 2 to Charlestown. And Craig Eades from Charlestown is also going to be staying out in this narrower hand. And he's got the closest bowl there of Kempsey Macleay out of the way. Yeah, Greg's just saying to Rocky Stone, you choose the hand, draw either hand. Bowls haven't been out on this turf this wide before, but I believe it will still have a decent line on it. If it was the other hand on the ditch side, it may well not have turned as much. Pretty good effort. Still 2 down, but his weight was impeccable. Got another one to come. Craig Eades, a picture of concentration down here on the forehand. All he's got to do is get inside that last bowl. His weight is pretty good, but not going to get inside. Rocky Stone, 2 down. Doesn't need to change a great deal. Released it. Definitely wider than his last. He hasn't put the weight on though. So another chance for Charlestown to consolidate here. Put a couple of ends in a row. That's all they've got to look forward to. End after end. Throw a shot or two up. Getting close to the halfway mark, and Kempsey Macleay are double the shots of Charlestown. But all you got to do is keep ticking the scoreboard over. Give yourself a chance. Try and get it down to single figures for a start. And in those last couple of ends on each of the rinks, give yourself a chance to win the match. So Dave Collins here for Charlestown, just waiting for the rink next door to swap over. It is in his line of sight. Nice bowl down here, I reckon. Depending on his weight. Oh, he hasn't sent it. So Greg could still choose to get around that. Just got to beat Nang's bowl that's on the line out there. A bowl and a half behind Jack High. If he can skirt this bowl, he's in the area. He hasn't done that. Depends how much he hits it up. Well, it's going to be a counter. So that is 3 to Charlestown. Well, Dave Collins, if he can just nail this and just really make it difficult for Greg Brims to see anything, will make a huge difference. Not sure if he's going to get back in bounds here. He's weighted it very well, but it's going to be out of bounds. Well, Greg Brims coming to the mat now as his third rock he puts that bowl down. Not going to wait around. Greg knows he's just got to draw the shot around that bowl. He was out just a touch tight before. Skim his own bowl and get inside the yellow bowl. And that is... Oh, good effort. It's probably still 3 down. Yep. So Charlestown on this particular rink has gone from 12-5 down to 8-12 down. Helping out their side. 15 shots behind now. Trying to just reduce that down to single figures overall. They are leading on one rink. 9-7. Peter Taylor, as you can just see there on the left-hand side of the screen, he's leading 16-3 for Kempsey. Charlestown strung a couple of ends together though. If they can keep doing that, try and reduce that margin, although there is another end to Peter Taylor. That will get updated shortly, I believe. And that is a better grassed bowl from Craig Poole. His weight has been great most of the game, and there he is getting his grass right too. Michael Howard just watching that flop over, resetting his delivery. This hand is the narrower hand. It's what most of the players have been favouring throughout this match. And that is a great lead bowl. He may not have shot, but he's made it look very good already for his skip. Well, Craig again has overcorrected a bit with his grass. His weight is very good. Yeah, so as you can see on the screen there, Peter Taylor picked up more shots. It's a 20-3 lead to Kempsey on that middle rink. And that is probably the key to the game at the moment. David King up against Peter Taylor, and if Charlestown can come back a little bit on that particular rink, I think that's the key for their overall side. As Nang has made it a couple of shots for her side here now, and a little toucher. See down here on this tighter side, running into a teammate's bowl. Little touch, flopping over, a couple of shots to Charlestown. Greg now asking Brad to follow that down. Betty's leads orange bowl to the back there and flop in, although he's right close to this. Oh, he's just going to be a touch narrow. Once again, a great weighted bowl. little bit of cloud cover. You can just see the faint shadows of the players in the background, and very shortly the shadow from the club will come from right of screen over to this rink first, and it will start to slow down quite quickly. Well, Greg's just saying, what are you doing? Get on the other hand that you just played, and he's asking for some weight. So Brad Hennessey had a draw on this hand a second ago. He's now playing weight. It's going to be narrow. Just depends on what he hits. And he's got a good result, I think. Oh, it's gone forward. Won to Charlestown, but it is well and truly open. Just a reminder that you can go back to YouTube and jump on the other Bowls New South Wales feed, which is the Grade 1 BCiB Grade 1 Open Pennant State Final. Reigning champions Corrimal have a 27-25 lead over Baddo Bay. And if you just tuned into this live stream and you're thinking, well, I can get closer than this, well, the jack has moved, obviously, and we see a very good bowl here from Craig Eades from Charlestown. They've got 4 shots, but a lot of room, especially for second shot. And Rocky Stone just going to get around it, just in behind. That'll be second shot. Skip Greg Brims, give him a little bit of a clap there. Definitely improved the options. Craig Eades with a fairly similar bowl to his first one, flops that over, and there is now no shelf to sit on. No issue for this man, Rocky Stone. Been there, done that. And might not see this, but I reckon this is going to be very close. Oh, just not quite here. A 19-shot lead to Kempsey Macleay RSL. Just about halfway through. Long way to go, but 19 shots is a very comfortable lead. Actually, it's down to 17 now. I can see the board live. So Charlestown must have picked up a couple on a rink. Yes. It was Brett Waugh, I believe, has picked up another couple. Yep. That score on your board now is incorrect. It is 39-22, not 39-11. So our volunteers will get that fixed up in a second. It is 39-22, so a 17-shot lead to Kempsey Macleay. There you go, it's all updated. Greg Brims. Nice aggressive line here. I think Rocky likes it. He was going in towards the camera angle, but thought I'll get back out of it. Yeah, very good effort. Oh, David Collins is close to a second here. Can he flop in? No, it won't change anything. So Greg Brims doesn't have to do much different. He can sit the bowl for 3, move the jack to the right for a couple. Once again, it looks like an aggressive line. Oh, he's close. Oh, he's just going to get under again. So it is another one to Charlestown. They just got to keep ticking that scoreboard over. 23-39 it'll be. One and end is definitely enough for them to win this game. They'd hope to get in within single figures in the next 15 ends or so. With the first goal. Give themselves a chance to hopefully spur their teammates on if they can get down to single figures. Kempsey Macleay, their job now is just to keep everything nice and tight. Great start there from Craig Poole. That's what they need. His weight has been really good throughout this game. If he can keep getting that grass right, it's going to be very difficult for his opposition. And this lead battle has been brilliant. What a reply. Yeah, he's asking to swap hands. The ideal bowl here is to be just in behind. If he's lucky enough to get the jack on the way through, it's not an easy thing to swap hands on this green if you haven't been playing both hands at lead or second, because they are very different grass greens, and that is a very good bowl. Yes, the forehand that you can now see Brad Hennessey playing is definitely a lot tighter than the other hand. So if you're not playing both hands regularly, it is quite a difference. Played this well again. Sneak around that. Very good bowling. Both skips are probably quite happy with their leads here. It's Charlestown may be down one, but they're in a very good position with that back bowl put in by Craig Poole. Nang just probably wanted another good yard on that. Give herself and her team a bit of a chance. Well, Brad Hennessey has just put a very good bowl just in behind now. It's made it very difficult for that jack to come back cleanly to the Charlestown bowl. I think Dave Collins has called for something a bit more aggressive, and it definitely needs it. You need to change things, and you're better off changing it early with your second. Yeah, just not going to be here again. Really would have helped to be up a bit further. Makes the target a bit bigger. But I'm sure Dave Collins would have liked her to be back towards that bowl of Brad Hennessey's just in behind. A couple of feet behind. Oh, Brad's put another one exactly where his last one was there, in very good position. Well, if you're getting all that noise in the background, we apologise. Something's gone wrong with the sound system in the club. what a bowl there. Craig Eades has come down on the narrower forehand side. Perfectly inside. Little touch, I think it was a toucher. Holding shot. 3 Charlestown bowls in there. Only one orange bowl. That orange bowl there, it's the only one that Kempsey has. But the angle looks good for Kempsey here. He's asked Rocky to be up amongst it here. He runs in that orange bowl. The angle has to be nice for the jack, but he hasn't got the weight for that. Yeah, Greg's just saying you're a couple of metres shy of what he wanted. Because they are the Kempsey bowls just in behind as well. The speckled bowls there of Brad Hennessey. Charlestown holding shot. Just in behind would be perfect here. If he misses his front one, that's in a great position. I think Greg's going to call... No, he's going to change it now. He's going to switch him over, hoping to hit the black bowl, the shot black bowl, back towards the left of the screen. He wants the jack. Until that last bowl, it was on the other hand. Well, he's got good weight on it this time, and things will change. It's just a matter of what will change. That's against him, the bowl that came up. Still 1 to Charlestown. .28 ends to play, and we have an 18-shot difference. Kempsey's Peter Taylor is making the difference on his rink, 22 to 3. All pretty close apart from that. 20-shot lead now, just been updated over on the far rink. David Collins having a good look here, chatting to his third, Craig Eades. Trying to cover a conversion shot from Greg Brims by the looks of the call there. Just get slightly back in behind on the left-hand side of the screen. And it will be Kempsey Macleay's Greg Brims who will have the last say on this end. Charlestown holding shot. I don't think he's got the weight to get where he wanted to get. Unless he wanted to draw it, by the looks of that. Greg, nothing's changed, but Greg's having a bit of a chat to Ian Rocky Stone here. They don't need to do anything silly with 20-shot lead. Doesn't need to convert this one down. He's probably pretty happy with. So, I think he's looking at his forehand. Not sure if he's looking to get down and convert it or just get in behind. It looks like it's a draw to get in just behind. He was hoping to get just around that one and get into that pocket. Well, Dave Collins holds shot here. He could play an absolute bomb here and make a few. 20 down, he's probably 50-50 whether he wants to risk it or not. He could get his front one onto the orange one, sit that out for 4. But no matter what, Kempsey Macleay's Greg Brims will have the last option on this end anyway. So David Collins down on his forehand. It's all about whether he's trying to play a good couple of yards through to try and convert things up. Well, that is draw weight grass. He's got his own bowl. Don't think so, but yeah, very good there. That's going to block the conversion of black onto jack. Greg's going to come up and have a look, but really no pressure on Kempsey at the moment. One down's not a big deal. While having a look at the head, just an update from the Grade 1 final. Corrimal, reigning champions, up against Baddo Bay. Baddo Bay coming out of the blocks pretty well, but it is Corrimal with a 30-26 lead at the BCiB Grade 1 Open Pennant State Final. And they are just past the halfway mark, 32 of 63 ends. You are watching the Grade 2 of the BCiB Open Pennant State Final between Charlestown and Kempsey Macleay RSL. And this is Greg Brims, skip for Kempsey Macleay. One down at the head, looking to just get in behind, inside the yellow one. Not quite, but no big deal. They've got a very big, comfortable lead at the moment.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Merrylands Bowling Club. My name is Eades. I'm your final clinician, but you stuck with me for the raffle and our promotions. Once again, don't forget, tickets will close very shortly, so if you'd like to grab some tickets in our raffle, or would like to make your way to the bar, good luck to everybody, and we'll be commencing, of course, as you already know, of course, at 5. So once again, don't forget to get your tickets, and of course, then we will go into our second chance draw for some infinity points directly after. As another reminder for anyone newcoming, the first winner in the raffle has the choice to either go into beat the bowl or continue on with the prizes. So once again,
26 ends remaining, 19 shots the difference.
and we'll be kicking off at 5 o'clock.
Actually, it's down to 17. That scoreboard will be updated shortly. I can see the master board from here. It is 26-43. So our volunteers will get that sorted out shortly. So 17 shots with 25 to play. So well and truly within reach. But Charlestown will be looking to try and get that down to single figures with hopefully a dozen ends to play. Great start there. Michael Howard has got inside his opponent, Craig Poole. Been a very good lead battle here.
A little bit of a volume test there. That's a little bit better, I think. Better? Okay. We got a bit loud there. It's going to be a bit of feedback.
Now Craig
Trial and error.
has got him behind a lot further than he probably wanted to, but that is very good there. Gives his back end options.
Your tickets will be commencing at 5 o'clock. I'm the Sonia. If you like me, I'm Davina. If not, I'm Sonia. No, Sonia's gone off to another one. She wishes you well. And we're all having a bit of a mix in the mix there. So I'll be here with you for a couple of Sundays. But once again, don't forget to grab those tickets.
Michael Howard played another good bowl here. Been leading very, very well. Nang up to the mat here now for Charlestown. Probably played too many short bowls so far in this game, and the shadows are coming across, so it will be a bit slower. And I think David Collins has really tried to request her to be up in amongst those orange bowls now. And she's just going to fall a little bit shy of what he probably wanted, but it's going to be in the area, so that's a very good start from Nang. Got second shot out of it. Had to be up, and she was. Brad Hennessey now. Pretty close. He's just got to get a little bit more weight. Well, I think it's important now for Nang to play a good yard through up underneath that last bowl. Yeah, that's the call. He's up. On the other hand, though, is the call. She hasn't played too many out in this hand, so I wouldn't be surprised if she goes out a little bit wider to get her grass right. That's her teammate's bowl. Brad, add a yard. Inside his own. Won't hurt if he's around the back. He does hold shots already. His team already holds shot. Not bad. Yeah, skip Dave Collins there, just calling his third. Craig Eades to play down that forehand. A good yard through. Sit the shot bowl. If he's inside it, he gets onto his teammate Nang's blue bowl. Takes the other closest bowl out of the Kempsey Macleay side. Good aggressive line. Wait's good for the shot that was called. Blue bowl onto orange. That's what he asked for, and he's also got the right angle to get the shot. And his lead, Craig Poole's got that blue bowl at the back there now. So all looking fairly good for the Charlestown side. Ian Rocky Stone, he's having a good look at this, and the reason being is on his forehand, if he wanted to draw on the forehand, he'd have to get round that front bowl unless he wanted to sit tight and touch the orange bowl, which is his team's second shot. So, yeah, he's going to go to the backhand. So I assume this will be a little bit positive. He wants orange onto black. Yeah, it doesn't turn much on that hand. As soon as you put weight on, it'll stay out there. But if he gets inside this bowl, which he has, that's a very good back bowl. Another option. Add another option to his team's. Sorry, just looking at the call here. Yeah, to add another option for his team to play for with that sort of weight. It was Charlestown that had the best back before that. Craig Eades down here on the forehand. Holding shot. Little touch is not a bad thing at all. That's his own team bowl that he's got it back to. Plenty of room, but I think Charlestown will hold four at the moment. Plenty of room for the calibre of Ian Rocky Stone and Greg Brims, who both have so many titles up their sleeve from club level through to Australian level. Very daunting to come up to these two at the back end. And Ian in behind, possibly second shot. And you can see on the screen there, and I'll look across at the boards, we've got Brett Wall's Charlestown side pick up a few more shots there. So they've got a 6-shot lead, 15-9 over Daniel Bella. And it is now 13-shot difference. So chipping away at that lead, getting very close to the single figures. That will definitely boost the confidence if they can get to it. So David Collins, affectionately known as Charlie, holding shot, draws another. Greg Brims, every time he's had this amount of room, he's been all over it. It's looking good grass. It's just not going to pull up. So I would, being a betting man, I reckon Charlie here gets a third shot. Well, it'll be at least 3. The front one may even make it 4 once he puts this one in. But you don't want to give this man, Greg Brims, another shot at the gap, the space that he's got. Well, unfortunately, he's taken one of the counters out. So Greg Brims will have the last say on this end. I think he's changed this up. He has corrected very, very well. And that is 1 shot to Greg Brims. So as soon as Charlestown got that little bit closer and holding shots there, they just couldn't get one close enough to outshine Greg Brims. "14 shots. That is the lead. 24 ends to go. Still plenty of time. Reminder that you can go back to YouTube and find the Bowls New South Wales BCiB Grade 1 Open Pennant State Finals feed. And it is Corrimal, the reigning champions, with a 5-shot lead, 34-29 over Baddo Bay. They've played 36 ends, so it's fairly similar timing to what we've got here. The sun is back out. You can see on the right-hand side there, the sun is there, but the shadows have come across this first rink, and very quickly it will eat up the rinks 2 and rink 3, and the speed will drop. Has it affected these leads? These leads have had good weight all day. And as that pace drops off, they've still been being up there. If not jack high, a little bit behind. They've done their job well. We've now got David King getting back close to Peter Taylor. It's a 12-shot lead to Peter Taylor. But that is a decent comeback there from Charlestown. And as you can see now, it is now single-figure lead. Charlestown 35. Kempsey Macleay RSL 44. 9 shots in it. Still 22 ends to go. Anyone's game. As we see another great lead bowl here. Craig Poole on the mat. He's swapping over hands, so this is a wider hand. He hasn't played too many out in this hand. And he's going to cut it. Very difficult to swap hands when you haven't played that hand all day. He's probably played the right grass for the other hand. And look at his weight. Awesome. Most locals here at Merrylands would have stayed on that forehand and come in under that front blue bowl, knowing that it will hold up. Brad Hennessey, metre shy. And a bit of a decision here for Charlestown because they've got to get... Well, Nang's bowl is probably pretty close to hitting that bowl on the forehand, the backhand. So, yeah, David Collins has called it back on the backhand, but I definitely do not think with Nang's bowl that it's around that front one, which is where he's called it. She can get close, but I don't think she can get the shot on that hand around that bowl. Probably a little shy as well. Well, if Brad doesn't get another counter, being in behind would be absolutely choice at the moment. And he has done that, I believe. Very good bowl there. Charlestown does not have anything in there behind. They've got that one just past Jack High on the left-hand side of the screen, which won't come into play. Nang's got to get in under this front one, which she's done. She got the weight. Has she got the weight? Oh, she did too. That was a very good effort. And Rocky Stone. Once again, a picture of concentration. Just going to fall shy. Getting very congested up front there now. To see what Dave Collins has called Craig Eades here, and yeah, I was going to say on that backhand it's going to be tough to get around, but forehand I'm not quite sure how he gets shot. Hopefully he can get inside for a second shot and then give his team a chance, but he's not going to be here either. And that's another one up front. And Rocky Stone doesn't usually put two bowls down without being within a couple of feet. His first one was shy, 1.5 meters. You know, I was just saying before that it will slow down once this shadow comes across, and I think that's showing by looking at where these bowls are in this particular end. And you can see the rink next door is now in shadow. It'll start to drop off. And then that last rink, which is currently out in the sun, it'll be in shade very, very shortly. And the pace will change. Well, I think Craig's going to be underneath here. Can he hold on and do anything to change things up? A little touch would have been close. Well, it's 2 shots to Kempsey Macleay. Charlestown has got within 9 shots, back to single figures after blowing out to, getting close to 20 shots there at one stage. It's now 11. There's 2 more shots on the board for Kempsey Macleay, so it's 35-46. Charlestown's David Collins will have the last bowl on this end. He's currently a couple down and a lot of traffic. See Peter Taylor in the background there. Him and Greg Brims, who's on the mat now, have been stalwarts at New South Wales level. Lots of titles at all levels from club up. Well, Greg's going to run into his own bowl. May well have promoted for a third. And that must not look very easy from the mat for Charlie, David Collins. Coming down on the forehand. I think he's got to come between those 2 front ones, try and sit on the orange and either get second shot or a little bit through and push it through for sit and stay for shot. Don't know if he sent it with the pace coming off, and that must look very, very difficult for him now. Rocky Stone saying, get out here to my foot, to Greg Brims. just past Jack high. Couple of feet wide. Where the foot was probably counts. Yep, that'll be another one. Didn't need to get out wide. He can just draw a toucher. And Dave Collins, staring down the barrel of a very difficult shot. The only upside for him is that last bowl now has got an angle to go back to the Charlestown bowls. If he can get orange onto white or swing through from the front and get the white clean, the Charlestown's bowls out on the right there. I don't think there's much else on there. Looking at that backhand there, but the backhand is, it's got to be basically clean jack. With the right weight. I think he's going to line up on the backhand here. He is. So we'll see whether he's just trying to draw to cut it down or whether he's trying to get up through that gap and can get the white, but the jack is probably what he's looking at. Oh, he's just not going to quite hold up. And that's his own bowl that came forward, but it's not going to make any difference. I believe it's still going to be 3 to Kempsey Macleay, who was 12 shots lead until this end, and it is 3. So it is out to a 15-shot lead again. Got back within 9 and then 2 ends. One on this rink, one on the rink next door. Couple of 3s. Puts it back out to a 16-shot lead. It's 51 actually. That might have been 4 then by the sounds of that. That's a great start again from Michael Howard. Kempsey Macleay RSL have a 16-shot lead. It's just been updated by one of our volunteers out there. 51-35. It was only a few short minutes ago. It was a 9-shot lead. As soon as Charlestown got within single figures, the Kempsey Macleay side have responded. Kempsey Macleay's Michael Howard down with his second bowl. Oh, he's way short. What's he doing? 2 great bowls. No target. Great lead bowls from Michael Howard. Craig Poole, his first one was pretty good himself. He's been asked to change hands, and it's such a difficult thing to change hands at lead when you've been playing the other hand. here on this particular green. It is so much wider out in that hand, and his weight was pretty good. Probably would have been better to stay on that hand and just trying to get one in behind and allow you a second to have 2 shots on the other hand. Brad Hennessey now picking the weight fairly good, just wants to get in behind like that. Could have walked up and put it there, and his skip would have been really happy anyway. Dave Collins there calling Nang down there on the forehand, and she's just been probably too short most of the day. Got the weight this time. Just not out wide enough. Really need to try and build a few bowls in the head here and give the back end something to work off. Because dropping a few shots here would be almost disastrous for the Kempsey Macleay side. Oh, sorry, for Charlestown against the Kempsey Macleay side, who have a 16-shot lead into the back end of the game. Another very, very good bowl from Brad Hennessey. 4 great front-end bowls from the Kempsey Macleay RSL side on this rink. Well, Nang looks on a much better line here. If she doesn't get the shot, she's going to be in amongst it all. Oh, what a bowl. She may well be one down. If it is, it's no big deal. She's made it so much better for her side. As you can see this here on the replay. Coming in, gets the jack clean. Flops over, very close for shot. Doesn't really matter. She's given her side a really big chance. And Rocky Stone is close. Is it going to get back enough to get this jack? Well, he's got it. And he's put it in the ditch. What a response. So we can see here the marker going down for where the jack is. The bowl, I think, will be just inside that peg. The number, sorry, right in front there. So where that metal marker with the yellow jack or bowl marker just in front of it, that's where the bowl is. That is 3 shots to Kempsey Macleay and about a metre of room, or not much more, to draw inside. Craig Eades is on a great line, and it will slow down towards these edges. Yes, you can see it will slow down towards those edges. Great bowl there. Greg Brims has said to Rocky, yeah, come down there. Get rid of that. Just missed it. So Greg did get out of the way just in time for us to see that go in the ditch. Craig Eades again played a bomb with his first bowl. This will slow down at the edges, as I said. Run into that, stay forward. 1. Just dropped in. Cracking effort. Well, Kempsey Macleay has just picked up a 5 on the far rink. So it's now a 21 shot to Kempsey Macleay with only 18 ends to go. That's huge. So you can see those scoreboards in the background. All been updated now by our volunteers. 21 shot lead. And it was just a short few minutes ago, it was 9 shots, and Kempsey Macleay have responded very powerfully, and Greg Brims is a bowl wide of getting rid of the shot for 3. Currently 1 here to Charlestown. In the chat, Ben Harvey said g'day. He is our head greenkeeper here at Club Merrylands. Club Merrylands has 4 greens, 2 here at the Merrylands site and 2 at Guildford, a kilometre and a half away. Just going to go in the ditch here. That's very good cider. Greg will go for this again. He's got 3 seconds. He's definitely tied up. So about a metre of room here for Dave Collins to make a second. And at this stage of the game, 21 down, really needs to make this count. I can see on the rink next door that Charlestown is holding shot. So with a shot next door and at least 1 here, it'll get under 20. So it's now a 19 shot difference. It's 37. So 1 shot on this rink and 1 shot next door. 16 ends to go. 19 the difference. So you would think that Charlestown has to win 2/3 of these final ends, and that they need to make multiples on most of those. So they need more shots than there are ends, and assuming that they will lose 1/3 of the ends, they would need to get multiples on most of their winning ends. And with the back end players that this Kempsey Macleay side has, it's not going to be easy with them having last bowl. Good start from Craig Poole, got 1 in just behind. But this man, Michael Howard, he has been extremely solid the whole game. He's pointing, he didn't think that did what he expected. Yeah, Craig's pinched this one. Also didn't have the weight. So the next couple of ends, so 6 ends across these 3 rinks, really important for Charlestown to win the majority of them. Otherwise, Kempsey Macleay, RSL will have a foot inside the door to win this BCiB Grade 2 Open Pennant Final. And in the BCiB Grade 1 Open Pennant Final, the reigning champions Corrimal, who on my last update were a few shots in front, are now 5 behind Baddo Bay, 41-36 after 42 ends. Very good bowl from Nang. It's not the shot, but the skip will be very happy to have that bowl in behind. Brad Hennessey down on his forehand. Looks like he's grasped it pretty well. Just hasn't quite got the weight. Nang just got to have something very similar to a last bowl. That'll put it in the area. If she misses the jack or misses the bowl, she's got another one in the head. Greg Brims is already clapping this. Yeah, great sportsmanship, clapping that bowl. It was a very good bowl from Nang. She will have the shot there, and one just in behind. Getting down to the nitty-gritty of the final. Great reply from Brad Hennessey. Well, I'm not sure if that's shot, but if it's not, it's a great bowl anyway. Looking live, it's the orange bowl of Kempsey Macleay. Michael Howard's lead bowl that looks like it's got shot. But it's all set up nicely here for Charlestown if they just keep playing that good yard through. And Craig's just not quite going to reach. I reckon Greg will be quite happy to just get another bowl in the head here. Won't matter if Rocky's a little bit shy. It's only going to block everything. Kempsey can afford to be quite defensive from here. They can drop singles every end and still win this game. Nice bowl just in behind there. Craig needing to add a good meter. The line is very good. Didn't have the weight again. And Rocky Stone on the mat. Been solid the whole weekend. Got it out in a nice line. Just not going to be there. Once again, this green will be slowing down quite quickly. It has taken a forehand attacking shot out for Charlestown, so Dave Collins, known by everyone as Charlie, probably got to get down here on this backhand, sit the shot bowl. Very good cider for his first one. Looking at this live, that bowl just behind the jack, the speckled bowl of Kempsey Macleay RSL, it is actually the third shot. The two front to the left bowls definitely beat that. So I'm not sure which of those two front bowls has shot. It does look like the orange bowl of Kempsey Macleay with that has it. And by the looks of Greg's bowl just then, I would suggest that yes, he would have shot. And he's now just looking to cover any multiple. This is a good line if he's got the right weight here. Good yard through, sit and stay. Jack for his own. Oh, he's got a really friendly touch there, but I don't think that will count. It's still the front bowls that are the counters. So I think it's one to the orange bowl. You can see the jack just in behind the blue one. It's very close for shot between those two. Now, as you can see from this angle, very deceptive that the black and yellow one does look a lot closer on this angle. It is one to Kempsey Macleay RSL, And it is now 58-37. 21 shot lead. 15 ends to go. Sorry, it's now 14 ends to go. So that score's got to have one more shot put up on it. So it's 14 ends to go. 21 shots the difference. 1 foot in the door of becoming the BCiB Grade 2 Open Pennant champions. And it's another one to Kempsey Macleay next door. So it's 59-37 after 50 ends. It's been a great campaign from this Kempsey Macleay side, and if they go on to win it, they've been thoroughly deserving it. Throughout the whole weekend, they've been extremely solid throughout, from lead through to skip. And this is another good example of it. Charlestown, across the 3 rinks, need to make up over 20 shots. They may have to start really thinking tactically about how they approach these last ends. So we've just had a call from one of our volunteers to get the lights on. There is still a lot of sunshine out there, but we do have enough ends to go that it could start to get a little bit dark, so we'll get them on nice and early. Just in case, we might not need to go anywhere near the distance if we keep getting this sort of bowls from the Kempsey Macleay side. Great leading, switched it over. He's hardly played a bowl out there on that wider hand, and he's grasped it very well. So Michael Howard, he's got shot jack high, one just in behind. It is very important for Craig Poole here to make sure he's up. And that is a very, very good reply. But Greg Brims will not be worried. Got the best bowl just in behind. Nice 1 yard shot down there. Sit the shot bowl. Move the jack. Do it nice and early. And if you miss with weight like that. That was very good. It's very flat out there on the green. It's Charlestown players just don't seem to be up at the moment. They really just need to keep fighting. 2 good ends on each of the 3 rinks, and things can change pretty quickly. Nang has put a great bowl there to assist the side. And whilst that's just knocked up another one for Charlestown, there's a big target there, and I am pretty sure that Greg Brims is not too worried about the current situation. He's got his good mate Ian Rocky Stone with 2 bowls in hand and 2 bowls for himself. And there is a 3 bowl target with best back bowl. In saying that, Charlestown does have the 3 shots. They can't do any better than that. Just hang tough. Looking to try and cover the back here now. Knowing that Greg Brims is most likely to be attacking this over the next 4 bowls. And that is almost where she was told to put it. Ian Rockystone walking his way back to the mat here now. He's been down this end and had a chat with Greg Brims. I wasn't able to see what body language they had about what they will do, but I will be surprised if they don't play some form of weight, anything from a yard through. It's a lot more than a yard. It's looking pretty good. It will hold a bit out there. Well, got one of his own bowls clean. Charlestown's got to try and just move this jack in behind. Oh, he's going to go forehand and just try and get another one. I would have liked to see that jack move a touch on the backhand. 3 more bowls to come from Kempsey Macleay. I do not see them missing 3 times. So another good covering bowl. Charlestown holding 3, 22 shots behind overall. Ian Rockystone with his second bowl with weight. This is going to change things up. Gone forward. It's 3 shots, possibly. Oh, it might only be 1. But anyway, that is a great conversion shot from Ian Rockystone. Played that extra weight, same sort of line as his first one. The angle was always there to either go to the kill or get a bounce like that, and it bounced, gone forward. Charlestown is 1 shot down, but they own all 3 bowls back there. So if they can get one close, give their skip, David Collins, a chance to convert if need be. Think they got a chase. .22 shots with 13 ends to go. And last bowl, you can see a Kempsey bowl right at the back of the rink, so right at the bottom of the screen. So if he was to try and get the jack back to his 3 bowls, just got to get that weight perfect if that's the option he takes. He won't do it until his last one, that's for sure, and then he'll just weigh up what happens with these first 3 bowls, 1 of his and 2 of Greg Brims, see where things are at, then make that decision. 1's definitely not enough. Got a message from Norm Pearson, so he's been a member here for a long time, just moved across to, I think he went to Castle Hill. Watching from Germany, hello Norm. Once again, you are on Bowls New South Wales YouTube channel. They have 2 streams going at the moment. You are watching the Grade 2, Charlestown versus Kempsey Macleay from Club Merrylands, as we see Charlestown skip Charlie, David Collins coming down. He's not. Oh, 1 finger just went up from Rocky, so it's still 1 to Kempsey Macleay. And you can also get the stream, the Bowls New South Wales stream of the BCiB Grade 1 Open Pennant State Finals. Just a bit of an update there. Corrimal, the reigning champions, are 3 shots behind Baddo Bay, 41-44 after 47 ends. And we have a 21 shot lead. It's now a 20 shot lead, so that's just been updated outside. And Greg Brims has got shot. He already held one with the back right, Speckley bowl, so that is 2 shots. Dave Collins is sort of saying, come down there on the backhand. I think at this stage of the game, I think he's got to try and make a multiple. So he can roll his own up for 1. I don't think 1's going to be enough. I think he's really got to try and play to get the jack back to the 3 near the tee. And plan B is he sits the shot bowl or rolls his own bowl up and gets one shot. I think one shot is plan B. $39.59, 11 ends to go. He's now standing where I think the plan has got to be to get the jack there. How you get it there is a couple of options, but I think that's got to be the plan. With plan B getting one shot from a result of sitting the shot bowl. He's 2 down at the moment. So he's either got to sit that white and stay for one, but preferably move that jack. Got his foot where his foot is now. Jack comes there clean, he's 3. If the bowl comes with it, he's 4. Puts his side back in with a chance. Pick your hand, look to touch the jack. Hopefully get the right angle on it. So Charlie David Collins down here on his forehand. Well, he definitely doesn't have the weight to move the jack to where it needs to go, I don't think. That'll be one to Kempsey Macleay. It'll be 60-39. 21 shot lead. 1 foot in the door. 10 ends to go. Been an amazing campaign here from Kempsey Macleay. 21 shot lead, 10 ends to go. Day one, they got a 105 in one of their games. Absolutely brilliant across the rinks, all 3 of them. Barring a miracle, they'll be out there on the green in probably the next 20 minutes, receiving the BCiB Grade 2 Open Pennant. They can afford to drop a couple of shots every end from here and still win it. In Grade 1, Baddo Bay still leads 44-41 after 47 ends. In Grade 1 up at Yamba. I haven't seen any sort of communication across the greenie from the Charlestown skips to come up with some sort of plan about how they chase down this deficit. They're still just looking at their own particular rinks. But I'd love to see some sort of plan to take a gamble, pick up a 5 or drop a 5. It wouldn't matter. So Charlie Calling Nang down here on this forehand. Definitely wanted her to be up, and she's done that. And she's got the jack. Great shot. Keeping her side back in this. Knowing they've got to get at least a couple, if not three, every end that from here on in. So, assuming that they drop a couple of ends, they've probably got to pick up threes on the rest of them. Kempsey Macleay, they've just got to hang tough, defend it. They know they don't have to win any ends. They can just drop ones easily for the rest of this match and still walk away with that state pennant. And in the ones, it's 44 all between Barrow Bay and Corrimal. Corrimal, the defending champions. Another good bowl here from Nang. If she can just get in front of that orange, not quite. Greg Brims wants Rocky to be up. Definitely can afford to be positive. No big deal if they miss this. But if he can move that jack, it's going to be almost impossible to come back from that for Charlestown. He was very close to doing that. It's a good weight. Just didn't get around to it. I think Greg Brims has called the same thing from Rocky Stone. Only one down, so can afford to risk to try and get that jack clean, sit the bowl and stay. It's going to be tight. Probably not the weight of his last bowl. But once again, not a big issue. So next door, they're measuring. I'm not sure if that's for shot or not. Good bowl here from Craig Eades. Get in there early and move it. Very good. Two shots to Charlestown. Still looking at the measure next door. Been there for a while. May need an umpire. They're looking for shot about a foot for the measure. Still measuring next door. Two shots on this rink to Charlestown. There you go. You can see the measure going in there now. And Kempsey's picked up the mat. That's getting very, very close to game over. Back here on Rink 1, our live stream rink, we've got Greg Brims of Kempsey Macleay RSL. He's got a 19-11 lead over Charlestown's David Collins. Charlestown holding 2 here. And if there's any chance, I think that David Collins, needs to draw 2 more shots here and hope that Greg Brims does not change things. Well, he's going to get his own bowl. No, he's got the Kempsey bowl first. That would have made it 3 shots. It's still 2. 39.63. So it was actually what they were measuring for was... oh no, sorry, there's been another rink updated over there. So it's 39.63 after 55 ends. So there's 2 more ends to go up there that our volunteers will get up very shortly. Greg Brims is just missing as well. Can afford to. It is a 24-shot lead with 9 ends to go. So they, as in Kempsey Macleay, would have to drop basically 3 every end to lose this pennant, which they've currently got one hand on. Well, he may have flopped in for 3 there. So that's one of the 7 threes they probably need. Throwing a tape on it now. Over on the masterboard, they've got it as 41.64, so there is another shot that's gone on for Kempsey Macleay, and it is on 41 because they're measuring for the third one here. So it'll either be 41 or 42, and it is 42. It was a 3 apparently. So 64.42 is what I can see on the board over there after 56 ends they've got. So 7 ends to go, 22 shots. Definitely not mathematically impossible for Charlestown, but practically it is a very steep hill to climb. 7 ends to go, 3s aren't enough. So if they lose an end, it's all going to be up to getting 4s and 5s. So they need to have a bit of a plan to how they can pick up a couple of 5s. Just group some bowls together and hopefully get the jack there. Cannot afford anything in front. But when your opponents are doing this end after end, yeah, that may be a few feet behind, but that is a great start again from Michael Howard. Been brilliant all game. Craig Poole is all over it again here, so he's had a great game as well. Struggled with his grass early on, but his weight's been great. Been a really good lead battle. You can see a few of the scoreboards in the background there. Everything's up to date now. It's 64 to Kempsey Macleay RSL, 42 to Charlestown. Been an absolute masterclass this weekend from Kempsey Macleay. And another good bowl there from Michael Howard. Ideally from Nang now, she'll be a yard through, sit the orange for a couple of shots. Plan B, get the jack. She's had a good crack at this. She's got the orange onto the jack. Brilliant. Chances. Brad Hennessey. That is a great bowl. He's 1 down, but what a great bowl. He's taken those front 2 out of any chance of counting now. Just short of jack high. Craig Eades now here for Charlestown. got good weight on this by the looks of it. Very nice bowl. That's a couple there for Charlestown. I think Greg's calling in to be, for Rocky Stone to be up and about. Push through. Open things up a little bit if he doesn't get exactly what he wants. Well, that's his own bowl. It's coming up. A lot of luck out of that one. That really hurt. Yeah, Charlie just calling Craig to. I think he's hoping to get that orange out with an edge. He can get it out with the right weight. He could hold 3, and as I said, they need 3s, 4s, and 5s. Unlucky there. He gave it every chance. The BCiB Grade 1 Open Pennant. It is 46 all between Baddo Bay and Corrimal. 13 ends to play. As we see Ian Rockystone run into his own bowl up front, already holding shots. Now got another one just in behind. It's going to be very difficult for Charlestown to get out of this. There are 2 rinks just about finished their next end. So 2 shots to Charlestown on the far rink. So it is 44-64. $18 shots, 6 to go. Oh, I just really do not know what Charlie can do here. He's coming down the backhand. Obviously, he wants to try and just move that orange bowl out. It's very difficult to get around with enough weight to do that. It's obviously what he's trying to do. It's just very difficult to do. And oh, he's close though. He's given this a good crack. Oh, great effort. Still fighting hard. Well, on the middle rink, Kempsey Macleay has won another end. What a shot from Greg Brims. As we see the replay here from our camera assistant, Katie Astley. Now, if that was there the bowl before, this man, David Collins, would have got rid of it and the jack. So he's just pulled that one. It's a 23-shot lead with 5 ends to go. They're very reluctant to put the mat down on that middle rink that you can see just to the left of the back of the screen there. They're getting close to shaking hands. Actually, they are shaking hands on the middle rink. So I would think that means, yeah, they're shaking hands on the far rink. They're shaking hands on this rink. Ladies and gentlemen, your BCiB Grade 2 Open Pennant winners here at Club Merrylands. Kempsey Macleay, RSL. We'll update all the scores on Bowls Link once we get all those cards in, but it's a convincing win on a great campaign. Like to say thank you to Bowls New South Wales. We are streaming from Club Merrylands, but we're on the Bowls New South Wales YouTube site. You can flick across and watch the last 10 ends of the Grade 1 Pennant final where Baddo Bay has picked up a few shots and they're leading 52-46 with 10 ends to play. Keep your eye out on Bowls New South Wales and Club Merrylands sites for more live streaming coming soon. Thank you very much to my assistant